Hi, welcome to Delicate Dark Girl. Today I'm going to do the makeup that I had on in my dream. Normally I don't notice makeup in my dream. However, in this dream, I don't know why, but I guess it's because of the strenuousness of the dream. I remember a lot more personal details about myself. But anyway, the makeup is one of them, and I'm going to tell you about the dream instead of talking about the makeup, because I don't know the concept of the makeup, I just had it on. So in this dream, I'm gonna skip a lot. At this point, by the middle of the dream, I am getting off of this like balloon type raft, and I've just crossed some mighty body of water. The boat topples over or whatever, and I'm swimming in the water. Next thing I know, I wake up and I am on the floor of what looks like a school/hotel. It was like a mixture between the hallways of my old high school, but I knew it was a hotel. You know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Apparently there's these women in there that are there to like take over, and I see one of my friends. In real life, I don't know her, but I've seen her in a dream before. She's like, oh my God, you know, Marvin Bang, there's all this blank blank going on, and blank 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 blank. Like, just a lot of dramas happening in this hotel between all the women. I already knew about this hotel, like it had a reputation, and its reputation was basically being a brothel. So I was like, okay, bet. I was like, oh, I didn't know you worked here. Whatever. So we keep moving forward, and she's telling me about the person that are like trying to take over the top floor. And apparently the very top floor was for the best workers in the hotel. So like the best girls got the top floor. The rooms were all penthouse styled, and the customers that went there, they had to be like super top dollar. They had to have a certain class of manners, and they had to patronize the hotel to a certain amount, like to a certain dollar amount, before they were given access to that floor. So I was like, okay, well, let's just go up there and see what's going on. Maybe I can help you get the girl out your room, because her room like basically is like a hostile takeover. I think my sisters were there in the elevator with me for some reason. Spent more than half of this dream struggling in water. That's the part I skipped because it was just long and tedious. I'm just thankful I'm finally on dry land. Anyway, so next thing you know, I'm trying to get to the top floor, and these two guys get on the elevator. They brought a girl with them, and they start acting so stupid. I'm like, that's enough. So me and my friend grab the girl, and we get off, and we go to another elevator, because they follow us into the other elevator. In the dream, my eyebrows were really small and kind of faint. The reason why I know this is this next part. We get in that elevator, and they automatically shut the door behind us and then hit the emergency stop button. Me that's just been struggling out the water, I'm like, I don't have time to be trapped somewhere else, right? So I start screaming like, what are y'all doing? I try to hit the elevator again, but there's two panels, men. The man with the bigger hair, and he hits it on the other side, and he had a shortcut and a goatee, and he was like pushing my hand down off of the control panel on my side, and I was like, stop it! Like the way you would tell like a petulant child, like I'm talking to these two menacing men, like stop it right now, Billy. This was emergency stop. For some reason the door didn't close. I wrench it open, and I get out. I pull a friend and the girl out, and we get into another elevator, and they follow us into that one, and wait for the doors to close, do the same thing again. It was all these mirrors all around. For some reason I can't remember what I had on, but I remember what my face looked like. I think it's because I had really liked what it was doing, and I never noticed makeup before. I just remember looking in the mirror and being like, oh, and then he like stepped in front of the mirror and was like, and I was like, what are you doing? And so he shows me this, it looks like a calculator, but then someone behind me yelled that. So I was like, oh, okay, I don't need to start causing a scene in here. He's obviously the wasn't in the elevator. How you just know things in your dream or whatever. I guess because your mind is creating it, so you know the plot holes. Right when I make up the resolve to calm down, my sister kicks the back of his hand. We are crowded in this elevator, but somehow her leg got up there. It falls to the ground, it breaks, but then he steps on it. It's like, there. And I was like, why are you doing that? Like I was the one, what are you doing right now? So this is basically what my eyebrows looked like in that dream. And then I didn't have this scar on my nose. Last week I got a pimple on my nose for the first time since like puberty. I was like, whoa, that was a trip. Anyway, I literally got so violent after that. After the ground, we were like, all right, now we can whoop his ass for real. Threatening us and then messing with this girl we don't know. Like, what are you doing? This is a place of business. So I got him in a chokehold or whatever. And my sister's strangling the other boy on the ground, and my friend is standing there kind of like just manning the door, trying to get the elevator to work again. So she finally gets it moving, and we're holding the two men down so they don't try anything. And for some reason, they will not pass out. Like, we didn't want to kill them. We just wanted them to pass out so we could go on about our business. So finally, we give up, and the elevator door opens on the very top floor where we were supposed to be going in the first place. I had to go and get into this room. So you know how in a dream, there's always one course of action that you've got to do, but you, for some reason, can never finish, or at least me. My friend's room, I had to get, that was the main course of action. I had to get to her room. We're stuck at the waiting lobby elevator part of the main floor that she works on. She works on the very top floor. There, I see 3 random people sitting on one bench and 2 very, very familiar people sitting on the other bench. Now, not familiar as in I know them, but familiar as in everybody knows them. You know, I don't often dream about celebrities. It was really surprising for me to see them there. I was like, oh snap, what y'all doing here? And they chopping it up. They're just like, yeah, you know, we're just here to pick a girl, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't want to offer my friend, but I was like, you know, looking at my friend like, you want to come over here and get this buddy? And she's like preoccupied. She's like, I got to get to my room. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to bother her with this. Like, I'm not, you know, in charge of what she does. I was like, okay, we'll go to your room first. But for some reason, we couldn't get there. People kept coming and stopping us. And she was like, that's my room back there. And he's like, I know, but here's the thing. She's holding it up, this and that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what is this? Why is she, what? So she was like, no, that's common. Girls usually have gear, you know, to protect themselves. I was just like, okay, well, I don't know about all that, but the thing is, she has now, so what you gonna do? Like, how are we supposed to get in your room when this girl's got a gun? I'm just gonna actually put on this foundation, the Healthy Foundation. So we're like, how we gonna get in there? And she's just like, okay, well, you know, first we'll go in around the back. I was like, oh, shit. While we're trying to go in around the back, we were trying to go to the staircase. Guess who show up? Guess who show up and pull us off the staircase? Those 2 people we were trying to choke out in that elevator. They grabbed my sister, right? So I'm like, ah, damn. So of course I have to go chase them. So I'm chasing them through all this ridiculousness. I grab my sister and end up in some random stairway. The stairway is a crawl space. We're crawling and I'm like, okay, if we crawl around this side, for some reason now I know all the ins and outs of this hotel. So I'm like, if we crawl around this side, we'll end up downstairs in the cafeteria. So we're crawling and we get to the cafeteria. Basically, we're hiding behind like the, I don't know if you've ever seen an industrial kitchen. You probably see one in movies. Hiding behind those shelves, but they're all metal. Just crouched down behind them thinking, okay, well, how do we get back to the top floor? If we can just get to my friend's room, everything will be fine. It wasn't. We ended up fighting our way through the entire hotel, fighting everyone and everything just to get back to the top floor, which we never get back to. And then I wake up because I have to pee. So the end. And so these were the eyebrows. They were just really thin and wispy, and I don't know why. I'm going to at least comb them. Now we'll skip straight to the eye look. I'm going to use Katsina on the base because everything about the makeup was wispy. It was such a well-lit building. And I don't mean well-lit like it was bright. I just mean like the actual lighting pieces were really pretty. It wasn't just chandeliers or anything like that, but it was like all these lighting fixtures. And at one point, you know, since we're fighting our way through the hotel, we pretty much stopped on almost every floor. And it felt like each of them had a different theme, with the top floor being the most like opulent. But every floor had a really good looking theme. It wasn't that the other floors were ratty. Every floor was really good, and it was just that the top floor was even better. There was all these mirrors everywhere. The elevator mirrors, jade and gold trim around them, like really thick, vintage kind of frames. So there, we put a little Katsina all around the eye. And we're gonna move into the color star. I'm gonna use Custard, because that's the closest purple to what I had on in the dream. And it was like literally only in the center. I don't know what was going on. It was interesting. I didn't mind it though. Like then, I had sparkle like in here, like all the way in here and then out here. These aren't the same kind of sparkles, but this Mont Blanc will be the closest because it's got like silvery white. Makeup was so strange. It's not that strange, but I mean, it was strange enough because I couldn't understand, one, why I had makeup on. I've never noticed my makeup in a dream, or at least I can't remember. I'm gonna bring it all the way out. Bring the silver and the purple all the way out there. I'm gonna put more silver on. More in that corner especially. My face in general was kind of shiny. If you have minor trouble stabilizing your hand while you do these things, I've noticed resting it up against my chin helps me. I don't know if that'll work for you, but okay. There. Okay. So then there was purple on my cheeks too. Now, the one thing I don't remember is whether or not I had anything on my lips. I feel like I was too busy looking at the purple and I was like, oh, look at that, that's new. I think I put on like a beige kind of lip. I just put it on all crazy. It don't matter. And then don't overdraw the line, because then you lose all the color. Don't be afraid of beige on your mouth. That's personal preference that somebody made like it was a fact, and it's not. Draw the shape back into your mouth if that's what's worrying you. Draw the line right on the outside like a shadow. If you're worried about texture and like it looking too dry because it's a lighter color, lighter colors on anyone's mouth do have a tendency to look a bit drier, but one, use something that's not a full-blown matte. And if you do use a matte, put a gloss on top of it. So here's that. I personally love like this. See, it kind of blends into the face. Get a little closer. But a lot of people can't handle mattes. So just put a little gloss on it. I'm using this clear one from the beauty supply store. Ta-da! So that's the makeup from my dream. It's not so bad. I liked it in the dream and I kind of like it now. The eye is just different for me. Putting the color only in the center and the sparkle all around. Especially since it was a matte color. I like it a lot actually. And there's my improv lip because, again, I don't remember if I had a lip on it. It also served as a lesson that you too can wear beige lips without, you know, basically just making it brown with a bit of beige in the center. You can wear a full beige lip if you want. So yeah, that's it. Bye.